Hi everybody, my name is Naomi for those watching my testimony. Some of you may know me and are watching this video. Might be a little different, might be weird hearing my story, but I need to make this. It's been a long time that I've been procrastinating to make this, and I just have the time right now, so I'm going to film my testimony and how God saved me and has completely did a 180 in my life, and glory to God, give it all to Him, and I thank Him each and every day and would not change it for the world. I will never go back, and I'm just here to share my story that I hope I can relate to some people, to some girls or guys that have similar stories as mine, or maybe going through the same thing, and you need guidance, you don't have anybody to talk to, and I'm here for anybody. So yeah, I am 22 years old. I have now been truly devoted for about 4 or 5 months now. I got saved, and I got saved at Freedom Christian Center. That church has completely changed my life. The people that I have met are amazing. God has sent these people into my life, and they are just the happiest, most loving people when you go there. If you need a church, if you want to go to a church that just worships God, that doesn't judge you, and wants to change your life for the better, wants to help you see you grow and flourish, Freedom Christian Center is the place to be. But anyways, kind of want to go to my story, kind of about me, how I used to be, act, and whatnot. I was in the world doing worldly things. I would love to go out. I would love to dress up, provocative. I just cared a lot about my appearance. And that's just how I was. I loved getting attention. I was an attention seeker. I thought, posting my body while working out at the gym was, good, because I would get attention from guys and get compliments, and I thought that was making me happy. And I thought going out drinking was making me happy. If it wasn't for me getting saved, I could have turned into an alcoholic. I loved drinking. I loved the feeling that I would get. That I thought that drinking would make me happy, and that was the reason why I would drink, because I said I want to drink because I want to feel happy. But sad news, it doesn't make you happy. It just fills that void. And a lot of other things that I'll mention that I thought made me happy, I thought mattered. What I thought made me happy and what I thought mattered ended up really not making me happy. It actually would end up making me worse. And the happiness that I have found now is through God. And I'm sorry I'm going back and forth. Not used to being in front of the camera. But anyways, grew up, like I said, with both of my parents. They're together, but I was always kind of being told, like, put down, and it can be like in the most subtle ways. Not that they necessarily meant it. My dad would spank me and hit me, would ground me, take away things, and would make me resent him, and just not build like a close relationship with my dad or even my mom. I would just rather be out with my friends. When I was younger, like in middle school, I would go hang out with my friends, but then I would go see like my boyfriend at that time in 6th grade, like so young and already like in relationships with like a boy. And a lot of that relationship affected me. Was cheated on almost in every single relationship. I would never be single. If I was single, I was talking to a guy. I was multiple guys. I made just loved getting attention from guys. They would put me on a pedestal, and I took it because it would make me happy. It would fill my void, and that's just how I was. Had a very bad attitude towards my parents, like super bad attitude. You can't tell me what to do. I would always have to get the last word. It was really bad. To this day, I'm still somewhat struggling with it, but I am getting better, putting myself in the Word of God and whatnot. What else? Yeah, so like relationships, was never really single, couldn't stay single. Was going back and forth with guys that I was in relationships with, and just getting heartbroken, and would just create this stigma of like, you know, that term men ain't that type of thing. Would just make me have a lot of trust issues, and you know, I attracted that, I guess, and what you put out there you kind of get. So that's what I got, these type of guys, and you know, and it's not their fault, and it just happened. And so yeah, had a really bad attitude, like I was saying. Hate trying to be told what to do. I like always like being in control, and when it doesn't go my way, I throw a fit. Yeah, have a bad mouth. If someone gives me attitude, I just gotta like rebuttal back. I like to argue. I like to play victim. You know, all of those things. And you know, it's sad saying it, but that is how I was. That's how I was. And I know there is some people who are the same way. And I'm very prideful, and very prideful. And yeah, would always, even when it came to like my friends, I would lose a lot of friends, and it's so sad. I would always jump from like different groups of friends, you know, and I have some friends that are sticking around, that are approving of what I am doing now with my life, or happy with me, and there's some who have stopped talking to me. And you know, there's no hate. I still love them. I pray for them. I pray for every single person that has been in my life. You know, they obviously came into my life for a reason, and it's taught me a lot, and I should take it as a blessing to learn from that, from my past, and you know, who I surrounded myself with. And yeah, I was just like never stable. Would just struggle a lot in school. They told me I had ADD, which is attention deficit disorder. Also got diagnosed in the beginning of this year with depression and anxiety, like really bad. I want to say 2 years before that. Hard for me to like say it because nobody knows. But I need to say it. I have cut myself. I have had those thoughts of I would be better off dead. I was suicidal. It was that bad, my depression and my anxiety, that I thought I would be better off dead. That everyone in my life would be happier without me, because I was obviously giving my parents a hard time. I was always stuck in drama in school, and it made me miserable. And I just thought like I would be better off dead. Like I didn't want to go through this anymore. I was going through a breakup that like completely broke my heart, like really, really bad. I lost like 20 pounds, 15 pounds. It was really bad, and I never thought that, you know, I had depression or anxiety. I knew I was sad. I knew I was always negative. I was a pessimist. I would always look at the glass half empty. And it was, you know, and it's brought throughout my childhood, and the environment, who I surrounded myself with, my parents. And I know everybody, it's not their fault, but that's just how it is. It's the truth. And, you know, I've forgiven my parents. You know, they brought me up, they teach me the best that they could, and that's not on them. And you know, I pray for them to get saved. I pray for my friends to get saved. I pray for everybody in this world just to find happiness through God, because God is the way. He is the light. He He loves everybody. He loved me when I was out in the world, when I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. He still loved me then, and he still loves me now, and he still loves everybody. He loves everybody equally. Nobody is his favorite. He loves me, he loves you, he loves everybody individually. And I like never knew that. I was raised Catholic. I went to catechism. I did all of that. I was really involved in the Catholic Church when I was starting to do my confirmation. And in a way, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it because I had friends there and it was fun. We would have Bible studies. We would like welcome the new kids who were coming into confirmation, and stuff like that. And then I want to say, like, after a year that I did my confirmation, I kind of stopped going. Felt forced from my mom, and would make me like really upset at my mom. Like, if I didn't want to go, I don't want to go. Like, don't force me, because then I would feel guilty of, like, I'm not gonna understand the message. I don't know what they're gonna say. I'm not even gonna pay attention. So why am I going? Like, don't make me go. So she gave up on making me want to go, and I didn't go. And I was too focused on trying to go out with my friends and whatnot. And that's just what it was. And that was for a good 4 to 5 years that I hadn't been at church. And then I recently started going to church around, I want to say last year in December, with my boyfriend. And we would go not often. It would be sometimes on a Sundays. I'll just say I have been to church once drunk, and that's just how in the world I was. I just had to drink, and I went to church drunk with him. He wasn't drunk. I ended up just showing up drunk, and would still, it was like this saying, kind of, not saying, but what we talk about at church, how we go be this Christian on a Sunday. We're, very holy. We devote that day to God. But once we're, the week starts, we go back to how we were with our attitudes, judging others, not walking in love, and, all that stuff. And that's kind of what happened with me. I would go to church, but I would still, go out and drink. I would, just bad stuff. And, I didn't really take it seriously. That's about it. And then when I came to freedom, I got introduced to freedom from my boyfriend that I have now. And I was so iffy about going. Well, first of all, he got invited to a family group. And I was like, there's no way you can go. There's no way a group of guys are just gonna talk about God. I go, there's no way. I go, they're gonna talk about other girls. They're gonna talk about, just not nice things, that, guy talk. And I did not want him to go. I got upset because I was like, no, I don't want you going. Like, I don't trust it. But he didn't listen to me, and I'm glad he didn't. And he ended up going, and then that group leader that invited him ended up giving me a number for one of the girls, and I ended up, talking to her over the phone, and then went to freedom finally that day, that like following Sunday or the week after. And that service, it was amazing. I literally was crying. And that sermon right there, so I just remember crying, and I was it was like this peace. I was like crying it was like my spirit. It was just crying, like, I felt so at peace in that moment. I was crying out of this peace and letting everything go that I have went through. And in that moment, me and my boyfriend both, decided that we're gonna devote our life to God. We are getting saved. And ever since that day, it has completely changed. I think I had said, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I was going to therapy for it, and my depression and anxiety was gone. They usually do like this, like a score. The worst score is at 100. I was in the high 80s. It was really bad. My thinking was so bad. I always saw the worst, would just, like I said, a pessimist, so negative, so negative. I always thought I was not good enough. I was very insecure, never felt pretty, never felt, whatever it is. And that's when I started, I'm gonna sidetrack a little bit about like my image right now. Like when it came to my image, I was always so insecure, and that's why I always cared about my appearance so much. I never wanted to look ugly. And I would go to the gym, work out, and I would post my body to get compliments, and I made my body a god, because I was glorifying my body, and that's what I thought was making me happy, is getting the nicest body ever to get attention and whatnot. And obviously secular media does not help with that, and I had a really big issue with social media. I was addicted to it, could never stay off of it, always comparing myself to other people, wishing I live like this celebrity, look like this celebrity. And just secular media is so bad. But I have learned I went kind of like on a fast. I did not go on social media for like months. I ended up like deleting my stuff, and now I'm at a point where I can be okay. I unfollowed a lot of celebrities, a lot of people, and that's just how I had to do it, in order to be okay, and not be tempted or to compare myself or get insecure, like none of that stuff. And so one of the things is I made my body my god. Another thing is, I'm sidetracking again, I'm sorry, just these things are coming up that I like want to come out. I made money my god. So I made money my god. I dropped out of school when I first started working because I rather make money. I just wanted to make money. I just cared about making money. I would spend $400 on a pair of shoes. I would spend $1,200 on a Gucci bag, and I just was very materialistic. I wanted the nicest things. I was, to a certain extent, stuck up, because I just wanted to brag about what I had. I want people to see what I have, and I wanted to get complimented on what I have. And in order for me, the world and secular media has it, is that if I have those things, then that means I have money. That means, I've made it. And it's, the complete opposite. I got this bag for like a week, and after I was just like, all right, what now? It didn't make me happy anymore. It was just a bag. It was just a $1,200 expensive bag. And so that was another thing, being super materialistic into buying expensive things. And just I was never good with money, ever. Oh my goodness, I suck at saving money. I had an addiction to shopping. Every weekend would go out to shop, and I wouldn't have to at least, but I would end up spending like $200, $300 on clothes. I would always have to come out of the mall with something. I would get mad when I did not find anything at the mall. I just love to shop, and clothing and everything. Like I said, my appearance. I was very fond of my appearance. And anyways, just wanted to talk about those things. And going back to my depression and anxiety, I remember now. So it was really bad. I no longer have anxiety or depression. And even my therapist asked me, what is it that you're doing? And I said, God. I dedicated my life to God. I made him the center of my life, of my relationship with my boyfriend, and in everything else. And it is shocking that I never would have thought I would get out of depression, out of anxiety, and it is completely gone. And he said it is so rare, like how fast it was for me to get over it. And it was this, you know, like a pat on the back, like, wow, like I can do this, and so can everybody else. If you're suffering and you're trying to find happiness in something, give it a try. Like, you know, read the Bible, watch a sermon, watch Pastor Jason from Freedom Christian Center, watch Stephen Furtick, Kenneth Hagin, I think Kenneth Hagin, or I can link down videos below, you can ask me. You know, I never would have thought I would get over these things, let go of these things, and you know, God has just changed my life. I am so much happier. I have, you know, a purpose in life now, a drive now, and you know, and it is all because of God. It is not because of me, it is because of God. I am saved by grace through God, not because of me. I am saved by grace through God. And you know, just a lot of things have changed my life. You know, I ended up moving out, and I think too, if it wasn't for me moving out of my parents' house, I don't think I would have gotten saved. I don't think any of this would have happened. And you know, it is hard at the moment. You know, I try not to be negative or make a negative comment, but you know, I quit my job because that environment was so toxic and would make me so negative. I would cry in the bathroom of how bad I just was, so overworking there, but I did not want to let that job go because of the money, and I just got this feeling, you know, and that I needed to quit, and so I quit, and I'm currently not working, and it's tough. And I just have to, you know, find God's promises in the Bible where he says God will supply all my needs according to his riches and glory. Or in another verse, he says, seek his kingdom and his righteousness first, and everything else will be given to you as well. And I have to stand on those promises. I have to stand on those promises day in and day out. Because if I start thinking that I don't have any money, if I'm thinking of a mindset of poverty, that will feed into me and I will struggle. But when I have been following the promises and God has been blessing me, a day before rent, my cousin decided to give me my money back for a certain trip that I couldn't go on, and they even gave me more than what I had paid, and I just cried because God literally answered my prayers. Me and my boyfriend were worshiping, we were playing worship music, and we just, you know, with our hands lifted, praying to God out loud and thanking him for everything that he's done, and saying that, you know, he's gonna supply all my needs, that I don't doubt him, I trust him, and I say thank you for providing me. And within 20 minutes I got blessed with money, and I have been so blessed to be able to still be able to provide for myself, for the help of my mom who helps me, and you know, and I just have to stick to those promises. And you know, and now I kind of want to go into my relationship. My whole relationship can be a whole video. You know, my boyfriend was very stuck in the world, very stuck. He loved going out. Was before we got together, we were friends, and just the things that I would hear from him, not necessarily him, but the group of guys, you know, guy talk, you hear everything. And you know, he just loved going out, trying to pick up a girl, and not trying to expose him, but you know, also want to share if somebody else is going through what he's going through, can relate, and you know, would have a habit of cheating on people and whatnot, and you know, it just wasn't healthy. And when we got into the relationship, when we were first dating, he did cheat on me. Through the grace of God, I have forgiven him, because he is a completely different person. I mean, if God can change me, God can change him. He can change anybody, and make your life for the better. You're not gonna get worse. It's only going up from here. And so for our relationship, you know, before we made God the center of our relationship, you know, we would go out, we would love to go out and party. We would go on trips and go to clubs and stuff like that. And we would fight a lot. My trust issues would come out, my negativity would come out, and he would get so upset. And he had his own, his own problems. He would have, to some extent, he had not anger issues, but he had a lot of anger, and it just caused a lot of division between us, to where I just wanted to give up in the relationship. I did not want to do it anymore. And so I was practically done. I would cry. I would, cry out to God, why is this happening? Again, this guy, the same pattern with guys and whatnot. And finally, when we got saved, and when finally, I'm working on myself, he's working on himself, and it's tough being in a relationship when you're working on yourself, and he's trying to work on himself. It's tough, don't get me wrong. And we just, I fought for this relationship, and I give it all to God for saving our relationship. I would pray so much to God to save him and to get this anger out of him, or whatever it was, and even for myself, to get rid of stuff that I had in me. And he answered it, and our relationship is so good. I thank God for our relationship every single day. He has a daughter, and she is the cutest little thing. I love that girl. I love that little girl if she was my own daughter. And that little girl saved his life too, and his ex. I'm friends with his ex, and never would I have thought that would happen, but through the grace of God, we're friends. She did my lashes. If you guys like my lashes, I can put her Instagram down below. Her Instagram is lashes and faith. And we're friends. We did my lashes for 8 hours, and just never would have thought that I could do that with somebody's ex, and especially with him having a daughter, co-parenting, and it's a beautiful thing that they can co-parent, and the baby can be happy, and that also, that it's just, it's really incredible to see. And she also has her own testimony too about how she got saved. We all got saved, and everybody's story is different. He filmed his own testimony. She has a testimony. And like I said, who would have thought that me and my boyfriend's ex would get along and get friends? Because I never had that mentality of I can't be friends with her ex, that's get out of here, it's just little petty childish things. But yeah, and so our relationship is incredible, and through the grace of God and on God's timing, then is marriage and all of that stuff. And I just love that guy so much, and seeing him change, and it makes me cry. It makes me cry to see wow, God really does answer my prayers. Wow, God really has changed our lives for the good. And don't get me wrong, there is trials and tribulations, we do have our moments, but we're quick to find the cause, or what's causing us to fight, and we're quick to to fix it, and we stay in the Word. The first thing we do when we wake up is go to the Word, read the Bible, we pray, and we do a vision board. We have our priorities that we need to follow, and it's just so good. I just trying to think of all the things that he has done to me. He's done so much, and and oh, you know what, another thing that's popping up is I need to talk about horoscopes. Okay, so I don't know why I forgot. I have this thing in me, my spirit is telling me to talk about this. Talk about horoscopes. I was super, oh my goodness, super into horoscopes, and that is the worst thing to do. I'm sorry, but that is literally the devil. I can't. I was so into that. Because I was like, oh, I'm a Gemini, and so every guy I would talk to, I would try finding out what sign they are. I had to see if we were compatible. Every single day I would look at, like, what's gonna happen with me throughout the week, throughout the day, for the month. What does my love horoscope say? What does my money horoscope say? Excuse me. It was really bad, like obsessive. Like I super into my horoscopes. And I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but it's not good. That's all I say. And was also into this, like, meditating. And when it came to, like, meditation, I would try to manifest more money. I would try to manifest love, a certain person. I would try to, and don't get me wrong, it has worked, and it's bad. It's no good. And because I'm obviously not doing it for the wrong reasons, and God obviously has somebody for me, and I was trying to get people that weren't for me, that God does not want for me. And but God has blessed me with this one that I have now. And so yeah, horoscopes, meditating on manifestation, trying to manifest stuff is just, I'm sorry, it is run by the devil. I wasn't sure to saying it, but I'm saying it. It is run by the devil. It is just not good. It leads you to other things. Yeah, just not good. I guess I'll just stay on that little topic. It was really in me that I needed to talk about horoscopes, because I know in my generation, a lot of people are in it. I was one of those people who were in it, and now I don't even look at it, because obviously, like what I said, yeah. So I know this testimony is kind of everywhere, but I just really wanted to share my story. It's not even a quarter of what has happened in my life, but I don't want to make it long. I just kind of wanted to talk about how I was, what I used to do, and how I am now, this, like, joyful, happy person. I try practicing walking in love every day. I love every single person, no matter what. I am not here to condemn anybody. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to share my story. And and I'm not here to, like I said, I'm not here to judge. I'm here to, if somebody watches this and has questions or wants to maybe know more about my life or more in detail, I'm, like, willing and open to share. I'm not scared. And so yeah, I just really wanted to share God's love and God's power, and how it has transformed my life to where, no more anxiety, no more depression, no more negativeness, no more condemnation on myself. I am perfect in God's eyes, and that is all that matters. God loves me, and that is all that matters. And He has so many things to bless me with. He has a purpose for me to live this life. That's why I'm still here. And and I'm here to live it out for God. I am here for God. It is just amazing what He can do to anybody. You think you can't change? You think your relationship can't change? I'm not telling you to test God, but trust me, He will change it for the better. If you have faith and trust in Him, oh my goodness, you won't ever regret it. And I just want to reach out to anybody, if you need somebody to talk to, come to me. If you're having a hard time and don't have anybody to talk to, I'm here for anybody. I don't care who it is, I'm here for you. And so this is my story, and this is my testimony, and I am happy to share it. I feel like right now I'm just so happy. And like, I'm surrounding myself with women of God. My boyfriend is surrounding himself with men of God. And the group of girls that are in my family group, my group leader, her name is Stacy, and that I literally like, she's there for me 24/7. I can call her for whatever it is, and I'm still learning how to, when something happens, to call her, because I don't want to be a burden to anybody. But I'm working on it. And but she has, for the little amount of time, a decent amount of time now, but not that long, it's just, her advice is so wise and just like incredible. The girls that are there are incredible. Like, we're just all women of God, and it is amazing, and I would not trade for those group of girls ever. I love them dearly, and and it's just, and I'm about to go see them in like an hour, but seeing them every Tuesday, watching the word and seeing how it relates for it to your life, having people pray for you and just want the best for you, it is incredible. And I get that from Freedom, from and now that when you surround yourself with that people, that's who you become. And that's who I want to become. I'm a woman of God, a successful woman of God. I want to be a good wife, a good sister, a good daughter, a good employee. I want to be all of that, and I can do that through the grace of God, through surrounding myself with wise people, by continuing to pray to God, continuing to serve at church. I wake up at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, I go serve at church. Being at the house of God, his temple, and he sees that and will bless me with it. And then that's not even my intention. I do it there because I enjoy it, and I want to do it, not because I want to receive anything out of it. But I'm sacrificing my sleep, my time, to go be with God. And I know for some people who are watching this, it sounds kind of like crazy, because it's kind of hard to talk about God these days without sounding like weird. But it is not weird. You should not be ashamed of your faith, of the God that you love. And don't be ashamed. That's how I used to be when I went to Freedom. All these people there with their hands up, worshiping, crying, closed eyes, speaking in tongues, and like all kinds of like stuff that was like, whoa, like I don't know if this church is for me. It's kind of like weird, but like no, like now, like I literally see why they do it. Like, we've had moments at church where I like can't ever forget this moment where Pastor Liz just got up, and she just like started like shouting, and was like starting to like we're like a lion, like roar, and the Holy Ghost just came onto everybody, and we all started like dancing. Like, it was like a little like Christian rave. It was like really cool. And that's another thing, like music. I was so sucked into music. I was supposed to end my testimony, but now this is coming up again. Music, secular music. My favorite type of music was reggaeton, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, Jay Cortez, Anuel. Oh my goodness, like obsessed to the max. And those things lead to temptations of lustful temptations and stuff like that. And I had to get out of that, and it was one of the hardest things for me to do, because I did not want to let go of that music. But it's like at church, they literally play like EDM, Christian music. I listen to, I'm at the gym working out, like EDM music, worship music, like from Elevation Worship. Oh my, like that band is so good, like Brandon Lake. Like, I really love that music now. And like, I don't have the urge to listen to that music. Like, it is crazy. I would have never thought I can get rid of not wanting to listen to Bad Bunny. And don't get me wrong, like I said, sometimes the devil would try to input that, like, hey, like, you remember how good like you used to feel when you listened to that, like, going out and listening to that, like, remember, like, those were the good times. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying to sin. I'm not trying to be back in this lustful way of thinking or things like that. And I gotta find myself back in the promises of God. Like, being a Christian is not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, but it is not. It really isn't. But I wouldn't go back. I would rather work hard and be a Christian and dedicate my life to God and be challenged to be for the better than to go back to the world and just do those things. But anyways, I'm Naomi. This is my testimony. I really hope I reached out to some people, and I'll leave my social media, my Instagram account below. I like to post a lot of faith stuff, inviting people to groups and stuff like that. So yeah, God bless everybody.